Hi guys, Jim here, welcome back to my channel. So it's day 28 and today we're going to be talking about one of the original video nasties that was banned, cut, caused outrage, so much so that the director, Ruggero Deodato, had to produce the actors and actresses who were in the film in an Italian court to prove they were still alive because people thought it was a snuff film. And I'm talking about Cannibal, Holocaust. Now, if you're not into exploitation horror films or anything like that, and you've never seen this film, proceed with caution. This film is very, very graphic, very graphic. So how did I come across this and what does it mean to me? So basically it was 1999. It was my first year in Thailand and I went to a shopping centre called Seacon Square that I previously featured in my vlogs. And there was a shop called CAP. And I went in there, literally my first visit after being in the country for 2 days, and I was like, wow, look at this, movies everywhere. So I was flicking through and I came across VCDs and I was like, I can play them. Yeah, all right, let's have a little look. I never actually held a proper VCD. It was always DVDs or VHS. And I came across this edition of Cannibal Holocaust. And I was like, wow, that film's banned. You can't get that in England at the moment. I don't think it was released by Vipeco. I don't think it was released by Shameless either, and I think it was still banned in the late 90s. I think it was in the early 2000s it got released then. I could be wrong on that, let me know if I am. And I remember getting this film and thinking, wow, this is banned, this is like really, really dodgy stuff. So I purchased it, bought it, and then I watched it for the first time. And there are certain scenes in it that are very... They made me feel numb, and the scene that done it the most was the scene that involved the turtle. And when I first watched that, I was sitting there and I was like, that's not special effects. That's not special effects. No, that's not. And I went numb. I could feel. I had this feeling come over me that I don't think I've ever had watching a film before. And in 1999, I was. God, what was I? 27, I think I was. So I wasn't young. And I just had this really weird feeling that made me feel numb. Just made me feel really, like the hairs I was like, oh no. Anyway, so I watched it and, I could see why it was banned. And then I didn't watch it for a number of years. And I was back in the same shop a good few years afterwards, maybe 3-4 years afterwards. And they had the DVD version. So I have to cover it up because the cover's quite graphic. And I thought, I'll get this because I've got it on VCD, but I haven't got it on DVD. And so I purchased it. I don't think I've ever watched that DVD. I just brought it because I wanted it to go with it. Now, with the original VCD, I actually gifted that to a friend who I've known for a number of years. He was actually one of the first people I started following on Instagram, and I met him in Birmingham, and he's got various editions from around the world. And when I moved house recently, I said to him that I'm not watching this anymore. Would you like it? And he said, oh yeah, please. So I sent it to him and I said, look after it, add it to your collection. And he did. He was really happy. He's an artist, and he is talented. He is so talented. It's unbelievable. And then I remember when I left London to move out here, I think one of my last purchases in HMV in Westfield was the 4K version of Cannibal Holocaust with new artwork. You've got a poster with it, got a booklet, and I got this. And it's 88 films. It's the Italian collection, and I put it on. I hadn't watched this film in over 15 years, if not longer. I couldn't bring myself to watching it, and I watched it again. And the transfer was very good, but it still got to that one scene, and I found it so difficult to watch. Actually, to fast forward it. The rest of the film, is very graphic, very traumatizing, but it's just that one scene that still gets me when I watch it now, so I literally have to fast forward it. I think out of all the horror films I've seen, which is a number of them, this is the only film that makes me fast forward for about 10 seconds. The rest of the film I can take, even though it is very graphic in parts. And yeah, it's just that one scene. Now, I've had this book for years. It's called The Art of Nasty. There was there was a little red, there used to be a little red mark there that came with it. But this book here had everything about video nasties on there. And in here was Cannibal Holocaust. You've got Cannibal Apocalypse, which is John Saxon, and then you've got Cannibal Thorax, which is very graphic too. Cannibal Apocalypse, I remember getting a VHS of that, and yeah, that in certain scenes in that is quite bad. But this book made me look out for all video nasties. If you ever come across it, the artwork in here is, absolutely fantastic. It gives you backgrounds to the films, it tells you about them, and it breaks it down into the ones that were heavily cut and got released. And that's what Cannibal Holocaust means to me. It was the first VCD I got. It's still one of the only films that makes me press that fast forward button for about 10 seconds. So that's it for today. I promise you tomorrow will be a different sort of vlog. It will be day 29, and I think there's only 2 more days left or something. And then this series is over. Thank goodness, I know what you mean. But anyway, guys, that was my vlog for today. If you haven't seen this film and you do not like exploitation films or horror films, do proceed with caution. It is very, very graphic. Anyway, guys, listen, that's me for today. Take care, stay safe, and I'll see you real soon.